أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وأصحابه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, we start by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we send our salam and salawat on Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept his time and effort, forgive our sins and shortcomings, and whatever time and effort we are putting, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this from all of us and have mercy on us in this world and in the akhirah, inshallah ta'ala. So alhamdulillah, we are almost toward the end part of our course. We have few more weeks left, inshallah. So today we're going to do a quick review of the passive that we have started last week, and then we're going to talk about it's a topic that is related to passive, which is passive file, and we'll do some examples, inshallah. Okay. And I think, inshallah, as I said last week also, I think well before Ramadan, if we keep continuing, we'll have 2 or 3 weeks off during this Christmas time and the early January. So I'll tell you, maybe next week also we'll have our class, inshallah. But then next week will be the last class of this year, and then come back in 2 weeks time. And then in January and in mid of February, by inshallah, we'll be able to inshallah. Okay. So let's start our quick review, and then if you have any questions, you can stop me and then do those, and then we'll do some examples. Okay. So we started our fail with a pronoun chart, and we start with past tense. Okay, and past tense is always changes at the end, like huwa nasara, huma nasara, hum nasarat, hiya nasarata. Okay, hunna nasarna. So just like that. So this is the chart we have done. Then we talked about the normal version of the present tense and the light and the lightest version. So you can see that here, and we have a big chart, which is this one that covers all the lightest form of the present tense. Okay, the present tense, and present tense has ya beginning or ta beginning or a or na beginning, right? Um, Also, we talked about the light harf and the lightest harf. Okay, and we said that there are other harfs as well in the Quran, but very useful. So for this level, we're going to keep it at this point, anlan likai hatta, and then illam lamma wal falli. Okay, so these are the 10 harfs that we talked about, right? So and if you go through the Quran, every day, you will find them everywhere. So they are very heavily used everywhere in the Quran. Okay. Then we also talked about forbidding and videos for that how to make it forbid. So we just have the lightest version and put a la, that is the forbidding, but forbidding has different forms. Okay, so like it can be used with third person, which is just normal, like he does not help, he should not help, you do not help. So there's different forms, and I explained all of this when we did the lesson. So you can, if question, you can go back to the video. Okay. Same with the commanding. Commanding has some extra step because we have to take the ta out. And when you take the ta out, if we can't pronounce the word, then we have to bring a extra alif, and the alif may have a u or a e sound. Okay, depending on the second last letter, which we explained also before. Okay. Then we did the heavy and heaviest, and I said the heaviest is the thing that we need to concentrate more. Heavy is, there's few examples in the Quran, but it's not very common. So heaviest is the one, and heaviest is nothing but emphasis. Okay. Then we talked about the past passive, how to make past passive, and what is passive, right? So if you look at both the passive, past and the present passive, okay, you see that both of them actually start with a kasra, so with a dhamma. So see the second letter here starting having the kasra, but the first one, everything before that is a dhamma. This is past passive, okay? So nasara become nusira. Okay, so the first letter actually always have the u sound. And the second letter, if the second letter has a e sound, then it is past passive. So ui in general, of course there are exceptions. There are exceptions because there are different types of fail, in like irregular fails as we call them. Okay. So, but in general, and this course is about in general, right? In general, it is U and E sound in the fail makes it past passive. And U and A sound, when I say U and E, the first and the second letter I'm talking about, no sira. But if it is a U and a A sound, then it is a present one. Because present passive, as you know, we go to the present passive. Just going there. It also, first letter also get a Dhamma. So the past passive and present passive both gets a starting letter is a Dhamma, and the next harakat is a Fatha. And if there is a Sukun, there is no change, and the last letter doesn't change; it remains the same. Okay, so we can say that that both passive, past passive and present passive, though both start with Dhamma, but their second letter, if it is the E sound, then it's generally it is the past tense, past passive tense, past passive. Okay, if it is a sound, then it is a present passive. Okay, so U, E, and U, A. Okay, so that is a clue, generic clue to know the passive. Okay, know the passive. Okay, if we keep going, so we do the exercise here. This one, is there a passive for all fail? The answer is no, and we talked about a little bit about that, and there are some terms here. So if you can read through the slide, then you'll understand. So we have started the maful bihi is the detail of fail, which answer the question who and what. I ate a cake. Example, where I fail is ate, cake is the maful. Okay, and it is the answer ate what. So if I ask you what did I eat, okay, the answer is cake. This is called transitive, or in Arabic it's called muta'addi. Okay, for some fail, when you ask the who or what the question to get them a full, it does not make sense, and we call those fail is intransitive. Okay, so there is something called transitive verb in English is called, it means that when you ask the question who or what to the fail, you get an answer, you get a straightforward answer, then it is transitive. If you don't get an answer, okay, with who and what, then it is intransitive. It's called lazim in Arabic. Okay, if a maful bihi does not make sense, who or what, then the whole word is intransitive, and the passive is not possible. Passive is not possible. We call the intransitive verb as lazim. He said. Can you ask the question, who did he sat? There's no question like that. What did he sat? No. You can say he sat on a chair, but when you say on a chair, that's not a maful bihi anymore. It's a mutallik bil fail. Ala kursiya, right? So on the chair, okay? So this is not the same as he said. So there are some verb, some fail that you can't ask the question. Ate was okay. I ate a cake. Okay, it makes sense. What did you eat? Okay, I can say I gave money to my brother. Who did you give? What did you give? I gave sadaqah to the masjid. Those make sense. But if I say I slept, slept who? I slept what? Doesn't make sense. So there are some verb is mutaaddi, some is lazim, and the lazim doesn't have passive. You cannot make the passive of them. Okay, so that's the theory here. Okay, this is explaining the same thing as exactly the same thing what I just mentioned. Okay, can you ask what did he stand on? The maful bihi we're talking should be nasab and not harb should be attached to it. In question we have on in the Arabic means ala, and it is a harb. That is, we should have a direct maful bihi. So what I was just explained is just in this one. Okay, sometimes the same word can be lazim and mutawaddi. There are some fail, some verb that can have both, meaning you can get an answer or you cannot get an answer. Okay, only the context of the sentence will tell you how to determine the correct answer. You have to analyze who is being impacted by the action. It is mainly the doer, then it is lazim. If it's mainly the doer is impacted. Okay, if the action is impacting someone or something else, then it is mutaaddi. For example, look at the example, then you understand. You changed. You change. So if you say you change, okay, versus you change car, okay. So in the you change means what? Like, I saw you like after 10 years, and then I say, oh, you change. Okay. So that one is lazim because you change who, you change what, doesn't make sense. But if we say you change the cars, or you change the essay, or you change the book, okay, then it has action. So here the word change can be both, depending on the context, depending on what you're using it for. Okay, it could be lazim, it could be mutaaddi. Okay, so for example, tagayya means to change. Okay, so ta'allama, family impacts self. So don't worry about the last bit because you don't know about the family yet. But just to make you understand the concept that uh, sometimes some verb has no way it can be transitive. Okay, so there's no answer for it. Okay, and sometimes there are words that can have both mutaddi and lazim. These are theories. Okay, so that you understand that not always passive is possible. Not always passive is possible for everything. Okay, now inside and outside file, naibul file, I think I already talked about this last week, but I'm just gonna give you the slides today. So he or she version of the fail, the same rule, and the file must be rafa. Okay, so if we say duriba masalun, duriba, like nusira. So duriba is a passive, past passive. It was daraba and it became duriba, like nasara. Duriba masalun. Masal means example. Here, the word masal is obviously is ism because tanween is there and it's rafa, right? So masal here, we say that, and duriba means to give an example, to strike, as I mentioned last week, right? So an example has been given or an example has been hit or striked, okay? So the masal here is a file, but this muscle is not doing the job. Someone has given this muscle, someone has given the example, but the muscle was given by someone. So this is a naibul file, a file, but it's naibul file, like indirect file. Okay. For example, unzilat suratun, unzilat. Okay. It was U and E sound. Again, look at the U and E sound. Okay, and unzilat is the Nasarat version, the Hiya version. Unzilat. Okay, and it's passive again. Okay, unzilat suratun. A surah has been revealed. A surah has been revealed. Okay, or a surah was revealed. Okay, whatever we want to say that. So here the suratun is Rafa, is naibul fa'il. So you have to be very careful because if you look at it, you may say, okay, it's a normal past tense, unzilat. No, it is not. No, it's passive because U and E sound. Okay, it is U and E sound. Okay. Next example, kutiba alaykumul kitalu. Okay, kutiba is from kataba. Okay, and alaykum is the uh, or harf of jar. Okay, and al kitalu is the naibul file. Al kital means fighting. So this ayah is telling that fighting had been prescribed, meaning in the time of Prophet Sallallahu in the life of Makkah, jihad was not legislated yet. Okay, so they were told not to fight against. Okay, but then for the hijrah, okay, they are told that now it has been prescribed to you. Okay, so kutiba alaykumul kitalu. Kitalu here is a passive file or naibul file in Arabic, we call that. Okay, so that is the concept. It's the same concept, huwa or the hiya version, and the rafa has to be after that, but it is naibul file. So passive can also have file. That is the main concept here. Okay, is there any question on this, sisters? Both of you okay? Okay, perfect. Okay, now, so when we see a fail, okay, so it could be different things because now we have done a lot of things. We did past tense, we did present tense, we did commanding, we did forbidding, and we did past passive and present passive. Okay, so we did almost 5 things regarding fail. Okay, so step one, is it a past tense? So if you want to look at a fail, you need to identify, was it a past tense, a present tense, a command, or forbidding. And then once you know what is it, then you should find is active or passive. Okay, identify the family, which you don't know yet, the number 3 step, because we don't talk about family here. We'll talk about family towards the end of the course. And 4 parts of jumla failure, meaning to fail, file, maful, and mutalik will fail. Okay, so present tense, there are some clues. Present tense start with yant, y-a-n-t, meaning yeah, and an, and nun, and ta. Commanding ends with sukun, a, u, I, ana. Command is only 6 because the anta version, right? Like, uh, it should be, tansur, okay, tansura, tansuru, okay, tansir, okay, and tansar and tansurna, okay. So command ends with sukun, a, u, I, ana. Okay, these are the ending part. So this is how you identify command. Okay, forbidding with la and the lightest, we know that already. Past passive is u and e sound. Present passive is u and a sound. Present passive is u and a sound. Okay, so these are some of the clues that with this actually we finish kind of our fail studies. Okay, because this is the basic of the fail. So we talked about past tense, their chart, present tense, light and the lightest form of the present tense. Why do you become light? Light half, lightest half. Okay, then we have heavy, heaviest, right, in present tense. Then we have commanding and forbidding. And then we have past passive and present passive. And each of them has their file, the naable file and normal file. Okay, let's do some examples, maybe. And you can help us doing this one. So let's start with Sister Nahid. We only have two people today, you and your sister, right? So lan tugniya anhum. Okay. Amwaluhum. So what is lan means? Do you remember?
Yes, lan is will not.
Will not. Very good. Okay. So lan means will not. Now tugniya, you don't know, it's come from ghani. Tugniya is what's the letter starting with ta, right? So it's a
Yes.
present tense. Okay, because a ta beginning. Okay. Lan tugniya. Okay. So tugniya here means to reach someone, to make someone rich. Okay. Ghani, ghani means rich, like someone who's rich. Okay. Tugniya means to make someone rich. Okay. So lan tugniya means, okay, and tugniya is the here version. Okay, here version, like ta beginning, yansuru, and here is tansuru, right? So it's tugniya. Okay, tugniya. Anhum is our about them. Okay, as our harf of jar. Amwaluhum. So amwaluhum is our file here. So amwal means their wealth, or awladuhum means their children. So amwaluhum is our, what is it? It is our file. So lan tugniya alam means amwal, meaning amwaluhum, their wealth will not help them or make them rich about them. Okay, or them. Okay. Wala awladuhum, and their children also will not make them any help. They don't make any help, not any help, anything. Okay. Min Allahi shayya. From Allah, shayya means anything. So their wealth and their children will not help them at all against Allah. Okay, that's what it means. So we can see the use of lan here. Okay, and that's why lan is here, and tugniya is actually light version. Okay, the light version, tugniya. That's why it's like, yansura, okay, tansura, okay. Or you can say, it's not that, it's the letter, okay, the tugniya is, okay, yugniya. Okay, so gana yugniya. So it start with dhamma. So tugniya is the main thing. Okay, so lan tugniya anhum amwalu. Okay. Next one.
So,
Yeah.
brother, Sugya is the passive
No,
tense.
no, no. It's not passive. It's not passive. You can see it's u and ni, u and e sound, okay, but it's not passive. Why? Because it's present tense. Okay, that's why I said sometimes passive can be confusing. Okay, but here lan is here, and lan comes before, not passive, normal present tense. Okay, normal present tense. Okay, it's not passive. It's not tugniya. Okay, it's not u and e sound. It is the the fail itself has a u sound, like, we said, like, you allimu, like, allama you allimu. Okay, so there are some verb start with u. Okay, and the first word on the top right side. Some start with ya, like yansuru. Okay, or yasmau. Okay, but some of the start with, allama you allimu. Okay, you qatilu. Okay, so just like that. So tugniya is not passive, it's normal present tense. Okay, next one, ayahsabul insanu. Okay, so what is ayahsabul insanu means? Hasaba means to assume or to think. So what is ayahsabul insanu mean? Sister Nargis, try that?
Here I is question.
Yes, very good. Yeah. So I is question. So leave the question as it is. Okay. Yahsabu means to think or to assume. Okay. To make hisab, to account. Okay. And what is al insanu?
The insan.
Insan, the human, the people, right?
Human.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is people doing is what is the status of al insanu?
Insan status.
Rafa, right?
Yeah, Rafa.
Okay. Now yahsabu, is it a present tense, past tense, future tense,
Present tense.
present
Yeah,
tense? Okay.
beginning. Yeah,
So
beginning.
if I don't forget about if I say yahsabul insanu, what is the meaning of that? The insan, the people think. Okay. Now, if you put a question before that, what will be the question? Do people think? Right? Isn't it? So people think. If I say people think, make it a question sentence. Do people think or does people think? Okay. So does people think allan? Again, there's another question. A and lan. Okay. Allan najma izama. So lan here is will not. Najma'a. Is it a present tense, past tense? What kind of tense is that? Najma.
Najma present tense. Noon beginning.
Noun beginning. So what is the pronoun here?
Nansuru ana nahnu.
Nahnu. Very good. So we. Jama means, you know what jama means? Jama kora, meaning
Jamayat.
gathering. Jamayat, gathering. Okay. Do you know what izama means?
No.
Izam means haddi, bones. Okay.
Bones.
Okay. So najma means we will gather, or we gather ijma'ahu, his bone. We gather his bone. Lan najma'a izma means we will not gather his bone, and then there is a before that. Will we not gather
his
their
bone.
bones? So do people think will not gather their bone? Okay. So Allah is telling us, Allah is asking a question. The people think that they're dead and they're not gonna come back. Don't they think that we cannot gather their bone together again? So that's the question here. Okay. So there's two question thing. We have one present tense here. We have a harf, light harf lan, which is will not. We have another present tense here, and izama is isam izama who, so his bone. Okay, because insan is like isam jama kind of. Insan is like people. It's not a plural. It's like people. So his bone. The insan actually also mean men. The men. Okay, so the men are human or something. Okay, this one. Yeah.
My question is, is always do or it could also be did?
It depends. It could be did as well. Sometimes it could be did as well, but depends where is it put. Because ayasabu is with present tense, right? So that's why we say do. Okay. Here also allan is with future tense. So one of the is with present tense, and one of them is with future tense in this example. Okay. This one, yunabbaul insanu. Okay, let's do one by one. So yunabbaul insanu. Look at carefully. Yunabbau. What is yunabbau? So obviously it's a present tense, right? Because it's a ya beginning. Now, is it passive or is it active? U and a sound
Passive.
U and a
is
present
passive. Present passive, yes. So yunabbaul insanu. What is the meaning? Nabba means to inform someone. Okay, khabor dewa. Okay, so yunabbaul insanu. What does that mean in passive?
People will be informed.
Yeah, people will be informed. People will be informed. Very good. Yauma idin. Yauma idin. Look, yaum means day. Okay. Yauma idin also means on that day. Okay. Yauma idin is a special word. And we're going to talk about yaum. The word yaum means day. Like, Malik, yaumiddin. Okay. Yaum has different meanings in Arabic. Okay. And this is a very important word. Okay. So we'll talk about yaum probably next 2 weeks or something. Okay. Just few things. But yauma izin means on that day, and it's a ism. Okay, yauma, as you can see the dammatain. Okay, sorry, kasratain. Yauma izin. Okay, so people will be informed on that day. Bima. What is bima means?
About?
No, B doesn't mean about.
B mean
With or in, okay? But
Yeah.
you know, in English you
Ma.
can say about also, actually. I mean, like, if the meaning, if it goes with it. So with and ma means whatever. So
Whatever.
people will be informed on that day with whatever qaddama wa akhara. Now qaddama and akhara, they are past tense, okay? Because you don't know the meaning. Qaddama means to send something forward. Akhara means to, you know, send something backward, okay? So qaddama means to send something before, and akhara means to, so it's like allama family. Like allama means to teach, so qaddama or akhara. So the meaning is, so we can see the passive at the beginning. People will be informed on that day with whatever they have sent before and after. Okay, meaning whatever they have did in their life before and after. Okay, qaddama wa akhara. Okay, that's what it means. Let's do another one.
Yunabbahu is a passive.
Yes,
What will be its normal feel in
it will
present
be
tense?
yunabbau. It will be yanabbau. Okay,
Yeah,
yanbau.
yanabbahu.
Mm.
Yeah.
So let's look at this one. It's an easy one. Innal abrara yashrabuna min ka'sin. So innal abrara, what is innal abrara means? Abrar means righteous people. Okay.
Nishchoy, certainly.
Certainly the abrar yashrabuna. What kind of fail is that?
Yashrabu present tense.
Present tense. Okay, very good. Is it passive or active?
Active.
Active.
Yashrabuna.
Yeah, because
Una,
there's
last
no, yeah.
U sound. Una.
And also the first letter doesn't have a u, because passive.
Yeah.
If it is a u,
Mm.
listen to me carefully. If it has to be passive, then the first letter must be u, whether it's past passive or it's present passive. But that doesn't mean u is always mean passive. That doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
Like tugnia, right? Tugnia, okay. U means there's a big possibility it could be passive, so you have to check that, okay? But if it is not u, then definitely it is not passive.
Normal.
You understand?
Field.
Okay, normal.
Yeah,
Okay.
normal field.
But normal field can also start with u also. Like, you know, yuqtalu, katala, yuqtalu. Okay, so that also be normal. Okay, but you know, it can be, for to be passive, past or present, whatever past or passive, it has to be u. So, but this one is normal. Okay, yashrabuna, and min ka'sin means, what is ka'sin means? You know the ka'sin, we talk about ka'sin long time ago. It means cup. It's a Arab said so word. It's feminine. Okay, so innal abrara yashrabuna min kasin. So certainly the abrar, yashrab means it's one sharaba. Sharaba means to drink something. Okay, you know the word sharab. Okay, sharaba means to drink.
Cup.
Cup. Yes. So the abrar will drink. Okay, why I say will? You can say drink because the context of this surah is in the future. It's Allah is talking about in Jannah. So when the righteous people, okay, inshallah, you and your family all will go there. You will have drink. You will drink from that cup, min kasin. Okay.
And this is a jumla, jumla ismiya.
And
because
filial.
we start.
Yeah, jumla ismiya, and actually it is the mix. Okay, jumla is, yeah,
Mixed,
of course.
yeah.
Yeah,
Start
you can
with
say
ismiya.
yes, and then in the middle we have this one. Okay. Look at this one.
This
Yes.
word kasin, it's supposed to be kasun, but for me it's kasin.
Yes. For me, from the cup. Okay, from cup. Okay, from a cup. Now here, if you say yutufuna, yufuna bin nadri. Now here, yufuna bin nadri is yufuna obviously a tense. Okay, it's a fail. Is it a present tense or a past tense?
You beginning, that's mean present tense.
Present tense. Now, is it active or passive?
Active.
Active, yes, because it's u beginning. Okay, just like we said before, but the second one is not fatha or not a kasra. Okay, so it is normal u, meaning it is not a passive, it is active. Okay, yufuna.
Okay. Ui or ua.
Yeah,
Will be.
yes. Yes. Yufuna bin nadri. Wa yakhafuna. And yakhafuna is obviously presented at the ya beginning, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yakhafuna yawman. So the yufuna means, yufu means actually to keep your promise. Something like so. So you to keep your commitment. Okay, so yufuna. And nadri mean to your pledges. Okay, your whatever you have tell something, like you told something like you're gonna give me money, so you always keep your word. Okay, so that's one is that Allah is saying that yufuna bin nadri. So those people, okay, the abrar people actually, they keep their promises and they fear yakhafuna khaf yakhafuna yawman. They fear a day, meaning the day of judgment. They fear. Okay.
So
Uh,
Binadri and the day is Ism.
yes,
Bin
binadri. Binadri
and
means
Yaum.
so they keep promise. B is with. They keep
Yeah.
promise with their nazar. Sometime in Bangla also it's a nazar.
Yeah.
Nazar means like manat kora. Something like this. In Arabic it's called nazar. So they all whatever they say they do with their promises. Okay, and yakhafuna yawman, and that's why yawman they fear a day. It's a nasab yawman. This is the maful. What do they fear? They
Maful.
fear a day. Okay, so this is what it is. And actually, this surah is very interesting. Do you know what surah it is from? Any of you know which surah this two ayah
Yes.
from?
No.
It's from Surah
In,
Insan. Okay, Surah
yes.
Insan. That's Surah number 76. And in this surah, Allah talks about three kinds of drinks. Okay, the first one, the first is the ayah innal abrara yashrabuna min ka'sin. Allah saying the abrar people will have, they will drink. So who's the doer there? Abrar is the doer, right? Innal abrara, they are the doer, right?
Mm. Mm.
So they will be in the Jannah, they'll be walking around, and they will have drink from special cup and everything. Okay, that's one type of people in Jannah. The second type of people Allah will talk about in the same after few ayah. Allah will say a drink will be served to them. So someone will give them the drink. So these people, they're level one. So they are also people, they are also in Jannah, but they're going around taking their own drinks. But the next level is a bit higher people. So they are not taking their drinks by themselves. Someone is coming and giving the drink to them. Okay. And that was Yufuna bin Nadri, and they say Yatufu alayhim. Aniyatin. Okay, yutufu is a passive. Allah didn't say who, the angels will give them the drink. Okay, so they are in the second level. So they don't take their drinks by themselves, as if they have servant. And Allah say that their servants will look like pearls. Okay, so the servant, the young boys, it will look like a young boy or girls. Okay, and they will be like so beautiful. Okay, and there will be their servant. They will just go like when you go to the restaurant, and people come, waiter, waitress come, so they will come and they will give them the drink because they are a bit special than abrar. Okay, and the third one Allah says, wasakahum rabbuhum, you know, sharaban tahura. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them the drink. Imagine. So first level, they are taking their drinks by themselves. Second, angels and the servants, the special servant there. And the third one, Allah is saying was sakahum. Sakahum means to, so sakahum means, saka means to give them, okay, or serve them. Rabbuhum, their Lord. Sharaban tahura. So there's a special wine, special tahura, sharaban tahura, and Allah will give it to them. And then Allah say, well, who are these special people? The third category, no, they are the people who did efforts in this world. Allah didn't say the people who did a lot of prayer, a lot of zikr. No. Allah said that in one word, Allah said, they are the people who did efforts and Allah is thankful, mashkura, for their efforts. So that's why efforts is the most important thing. Okay. So Allah is saying they sincerely try to do something good in this world. They sincerely want to learn something. They sincerely want to do sadaqah. They sincerely want to build a masjid. Okay, so they did try their best. Whether they became successful or not, that's different thing. Allah doesn't look for the goals. Okay, Allah just want to see whether you really try to do something according to your efforts, according to your capability. Okay, what you try to do. Okay, that's the main thing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also in another surah, Allah said, that Allah, all your efforts, all our efforts will be shown to us. So somehow, the efforts is something you cannot see. Like say, brother, last night I read 2 hours for this. I did a lot of efforts. If I say, show me, how are you gonna show me? I don't know your heart. You cannot show those things. But Allah said on Judgment Day, each thing that you do from your heart, Allah will show this efforts to you, because the efforts, the whatever you're trying to do from your heart, that is what most count. Okay, so 3 types of drinks Allah talks about in this surah, and this is a very, very, very beautiful surah. It all talks about Jannah. Okay, and actually this surah has a history also, if you want to know. This surah came down because Fatima radiallahu anha, okay, she was, and Ali, her husband, they were very poor people, they are not very rich people in the time of Prophet Sallallahu, okay. So, and she used to do a lot of hard work, okay, and still she used to do sadaqah, whatever she could do, okay. And then that's why in this surah Allah said, and she never asked for anything. She and her and husband Ali, they used to give poor people, if they make 4 breads, 1 bread they used to give it to the poor people. Okay, so to Allah said in the surah that these people are like this. They're doing things not to get thanks from people. They're just trying to do and help people. Okay, and because Fatima radiallahu anha, she was really, she really loved Ali radiallahu anha, Ali radiallahu anha. Okay, and she never wanted that Ali would marry another wife, although it is allowed, right? And all the Sahaba, they have multiple wives, like 2 or 3 or 4. This is common at that time, right? And Ali actually one time went to Prophet Sallallahu and asked, Ya Rasulullah Sallallahu, I want to marry another woman. Okay, and you know what did Prophet Sallallahu said? And it is allowed in Islam, you know that, we all know that, right? And all the Sahaba did. Prophet Sallallahu himself did. Prophet Sallallahu did. He said to Ali, do not do anything that hurt Fatima. That's what he said. Okay, and Ali did not marry until Fatima was there. Okay, and because this surah revealed for Fatima radiallahu anha, Allah didn't mention Hurul Ain also in this surah. One of the scholar and the tafsir, he said Allah mentioned all the things that in this. If you read this surah, if you read the translation, Allah will talk about the drinks, the salsabil, the janjabil, sharaban tahura, how the muttaqi will sit in a. Even Allah talks about cushion. How you're gonna sit on the sofa, and that the cushion will be istabarak. Your clothing, it will be silk and embroidered. So a lot of description of Jannah in this surah, except for Hurul Ain. Okay, the Hurul Ain that men will get, because the scholar says, the tafsir, they said, because to honor the jealousy of Fatima radiallahu anha, Allah didn't even mention here in this surah, because this surah came to for the event of Fatima radiallahu anha. Just a side note, like this is very interesting surah, and it's one of the very beautiful rhythmic surah in the Quran. Okay, and in fact, it is a sunnah. A lot of masjid. It is a sunnah from Prophet ﷺ in the Fajr prayer of Friday in the masjid. If you go, it is a sunnah the Prophet ﷺ used to recite Surah Al-Sajda in the first rakah and Surah Insan in the second rakah. So this is a sunnah, and a lot of masjid, even in our masjid here, they follow that. Friday Fajr, the first rakah is Surah Al-Sajda, and second rakah is Surah Al-Insan. Okay. Let's talk about some more example. I think these are all
Rather,
just over. Yes.
we get a lot of info today, so we shouldn't be blamed if we don't let our husband to marry second time because it's legitimate.
Sorry.
So what I'm saying that we got the ground to
Oh, okay, yeah.
protect
If you think
against the second time.
if you can convince your husband that you are like Fatima, then it's fine. But that is especially for Fatima. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but
Yes, yes.
yeah,
I'll definitely let him know today.
yeah. We can't even think. No, we don't even think even our dream. Okay, so yeah, we know that we know that we can't do that. We're just waiting to go to Jannah, and then inshallah we'll have Hurul Ain. So yeah, so not before that, inshallah. Okay, so this is some of the examples of the lazim, so transit and intransitive. I think that's it. Okay, we have one example here. If you look at this one, nufika fi suri nafqatun wahida. Nufika, okay. Nufika actually here is another example. It's a new beginning, and it's nufika actually it's not nahnu. The word itself has nun. Okay, so the word is nafaka, like nasara, the word is nafaka. So nufika, is the passive one, and the other one nufika. So nufika actually means here the nufika fi suri nafkatan wahida. Okay, and so it is passive actually here. Sorry, my mistake. Nufika fi suri nafkatun wahidatun. Okay, so nufika means to blow something. You know? Nafaka means to blow something. Okay, to make a like an angel Israfil will blow the trumpet. So this is what is telling here. So nufika fi suri, and the sur is the trumpet. Nafkatun wahidatun. So nafkatun wahidatun, wahidatun nafkatun is mawsuf sifa. Okay, wahid means one, and nafka means the one blow. So one blow will be blown into the in the sur, in the sur. So that is what it says here. On the left hand side, you can see la yuqbalu minhum. I think we did this last week. Inna ursilna ila qaumi lutin. Okay, ursilna. Okay, so ursilna means certainly we send them ila qaumin lutin. This one, look at the last one, the bottom right hand side. Waskurullaha kasiran la'allakum tuflihun. Waskuru. Look at this one. This one is a command actually. Waskuru is u. Okay, so remember command is sukun a I u. So waskuru means do zikr. So Allah is commanding all of you. Antum version waskuru. Okay, well, that's why the y is there. Okay, waskurullah. So do zikr of Allah kasiran, a lot. La'allakum meaning so that all of you, tuflihuna meaning become successful. Okay, I think that's the examples we have for today.
How the waskuru is command?
Because waskuru, okay, it comes from zakara, okay, and zakara, if you make it the commanding one, okay, so it's become taskuru, and then you take the ta away, it's become waskuru. Commanding actually is sometimes bit challenging to find out, okay, so you have to check the n first, okay. If it is u or a, okay, sukun, if it is sukun, then it's commanding anta. If it is a, it's commanding to two people, antuma. If the u at the end, then it's commanding to all of you. If the e is commanding to anti, like one member, okay. But uskuru here, it is a command waskuru, because look at it, it cannot be anything else. It does not ia beginning or ta beginning. Do you see a ta or a ia?
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
And also it's kind of waskuru, so there's no past tense like this. There's no past tense like this. Okay. So this is a command. Okay. But as I said, of course, at one point it will feel confusing because if there's so many words and so on. But now you know the rules, so you can break down and you can understand that what is this coming from. Okay, and it will develop more with more practice. Okay, so if you do more practice, you do more read you Quran and more try to think, then it will be fine, inshallah. Okay, at size, because fail is not that simple like ism. Okay, because it is different version, past, present, past passive, present passive, with the commanding and formatting, with light and lightest and heaviest. Okay, so fail is a bit a challenging one, but as I said, the more practice you do, and when you look at a word, think how to identify it. Okay, is it a commanding? Is it a past? Look at the clues. So you know the clues. If it's ya beginning, ta beginning, u e sound, u a sound, or is it a na beginning or a beginning? So all this clue that you have to put in practice, and then you can learn more. And the main goal is, as I always said, you have to have a constant relationship with the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, if you stop here, you will forget very soon. Within 2-3 months, you will not even remember Rafana Sabanjal. Okay, so you have to keep in touch and read and think about the ayah and break down. Okay, and there's a lot of apps now also. It breaks down each word. So there's an app called, I think, the Quran Plus or something, iQuran or something. So you can click on the word and it tells you what kind of is the root word, is it a present tense, past tense? It tells you there. Okay, so those are very helpful. And once you know that, the rest you can understand. Oh, okay, I know them. Oh, okay, because I know this came from this child. Oh, that's why this is. Oh, there's a lan here, or lam here. Okay, or ah here, question mark. So this is how you know, inshallah ta'ala. So I think with this we finish our field studies today. Next class also will continue to something else. I think we have a new chapter called Jumla Nafia, which is negative sentence, which we did already a little bit with Lisa and Kana and Ma, but there's some few more things. So we're going to cover that up, and then few more lessons after that, inshallah ta'ala, in the next year. Okay. So Jazakallah khairan. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik.
Okay.
Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.